Hello, my lovely people. Welcome back to yet another video where I am bearing some great job gifts for you. So today we're going to get into several different jobs. I have about 5 roles that I am going to be going over in today's video. The very first few roles will be with a bank called KeyBank. They are really a popular bank for entrepreneurs and small businesses and offer a slew of different services and products based on business needs. So the very first role that I'm going to get into with Key Bank is the remote consumer relationship consultant outbound sales position. This position is a full-time position. It is fully remote, and here is the job ID. Now, moving down into some of the information about the role. This role, the working hours is going to be 8:30 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. and the local time is Eastern Standard Time. They do also have here that you must be available to work one Saturday per month. So keep that in mind when applying for this position. They do also offer you training for your first 2 weeks of the role. However, the training will be in Cleveland, Ohio for 4 days. So if you are in Cleveland, Ohio, or if you can travel to Cleveland, Ohio for this training, this is a phenomenal role for you where it's really not requiring a whole lot of experience, but you can come in entry level, really learn banking, really learn about their products and move up the rankings. Okay. Now, if this would not work for you, I do have other positions that I am going to highlight that does not have a travel requirement or that you have to do training in a specific state or city. So make sure you stay tuned for those roles as well. But I did think, and I wanted to bring you guys this role because I really do think this is a great role for someone who has just a little bit of customer relations background, who's trying to get into banking. This is really, really a great role. So moving down into some of the information about this specific role, within the gist of this role, you will be basically reaching out to customers, getting information about the services that they currently have with KeyBank, making sure they're satisfied with those actual services, and then upselling them on other products and services. And something like that might be if you have a small business owner or entrepreneur that has one bank account with KeyBank, right? You would be responsible for calling them and saying, hey, I noticed that you just opened a bank account. How are things going? How is it when you go into the branch? How are the people that you talk to? Are you satisfied with the banking service that you already have? In addition to that, what are your company needs, right? And then you can upsell them on maybe a business credit card or something of that nature. So that's the gist of this role. But getting more detailed into the job functions, you will be reaching out outboundly to different customers, which are normally going to be like your entrepreneurs and small business owners. You will also learn a lot about their products and be a subject matter expert when it comes to a lot of the products and services that KeyBank offers. And you will have to educate the clients and the customers on their products and try to upsell them on the actual products. Okay. They also do have here that you will be a part of a team. So just being personable, dealing with other team members, different sell techniques and things like that. They also do have here that they want you to be able to build really strong relationships and rapport with different customers as you talk to them, that you will also be the first point of contact for a lot of customers from someone calling from KeyBank. So keep that in mind. You're going to hear also different complaints and you will have to resolve them. And a complaint might be, I don't really like this bank account. It charges me a fee or something like that. It may be your responsibility to actually find them a better suited account that will really work in the way that they need it to work. Okay. So think about that when applying for this specific job. Now, getting down into some of the details of the qualifications for this job, they are looking for a high school diploma or a GED. All right. They're also looking for 2 to 3 years of retail or telephone sales experience. That is required. Now, I will also say that you can have like customer service experience. That is also a plus. If you do have retail experience, like you did work at maybe Target, Walmart, or Old Navy, Gap, or something like that, anything where you were in an environment and you worked in an environment with customers and you were selling a product, right? Or it was something related to sales of products. Okay, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for basically that you are personable, that you can talk with customers really well, and that you've been in some type of environment that sells products. Okay, if you have not, that is completely fine. If you're completely entry level, I do also have entry level roles that I will be going over shortly, so stay tuned. And moving down into some more of the information that they just have in the qualifications here is you will have to demonstrate being able to meet sales goals and measurements. Also, being able to cross sell, upsell, and just refer different things to customers. Having knowledge of financial products is a plus. Banking products is preferred, but it's not required. So remember that they will train you. Okay. If you do know how to multitask, they are looking for someone that can multitask within systems. So basically, being able to really work a computer really well, maybe work dual monitors, being able to shift between different softwares, that's what they're looking for. They also do have here that you do have to demonstrate being able to problem solve. They're looking for someone that can really look at something and go to the next level and finding a solution. So keep that in mind as well. If you have worked in a fast-paced outbound sales environment, that's a plus. And if you're excellent on the phone and you have really great interpersonal and communication skills, written and verbal, that is also a plus as well. They also do have here that if you do have knowledge of Windows, Microsoft softwares, that's great. If you do have knowledge of banking systems, that's great as well. And then also just a proven track record of outbound sales or being in a telephone sales environment. Now, none of that is necessarily required. It's a plus if you do have it. What's really required is the 2 to 3 years of either retail experience or telephone experience. Okay. Now, the compensation for this specific role is $17 to $19.23, depending on different factors and the level of your experience within the actual job. They also do have an incentive plan that pays $30,000 annually as long as minimum goals are met. So that's really, really good as well. You guys will get, anywhere upwards of $30,000 in addition to your hourly rate. As long as you can get people to, get different products and upsell them on different things. They also do have annual incentive bonuses as well. So I will be going over in more detail a lot of their other comprehensive benefits because they do offer the comprehensive benefits like the medical, the dental, and vision. But I have a whole sheet that I'll be going over with that information. So once again, just moving back up, this is the remote consumer relationship consultant. This is an outbound sales role for anyone who is interested. Here is the job ID here, and make sure you get over and apply if you are interested in this role. Now, the second role that I do have with KeyBank is the Senior Specialist Identity Verification position. This position is also a full-time role, and here is the job ID for this specific role. Now, the shift time for this role is a Monday through Friday shift. You will have to work some Saturdays on a rotational schedule, and the hours that you will be working is anywhere between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is fully remote, so they do want to make sure that you do have a home office and you will be able to handle the calls in a confidential manner. This specific role is dealing with fraud and really identity theft, basically, in a nutshell. And a little summary of this specific position is you will be in charge of validating and confirming identity verification alerts. So when you get alerts of fraud or fraud potential, you'll be the one who will have to basically solution it to see whether or not it's fraud or it's the actual client and customer actually using whatever financial services they have through Key Bank. So moving down into some of the job functions and the details about this specific position, you will review, analyze, and make decisions on identity verification alerts that come into you to mitigate fraud. You'll also be using internal and external sources and resources to be able to complete investigations on whether or not something was fraudulent or if it was actually a customer making the purchase or doing the action. So this is really for my detail-oriented people and anyone who really has that investigative nature about them. This will be a great role for you. If you do have any quality assurance, audits, right? Investigations, even if you were in claims or did something where you had to investigate accounts, this would be a great job for you. And make sure those are the hot words that you want to put on your resume as well. Okay. You'll also be identifying trends and patterns of suspicious activity related to different digital applications and transactions. You'll also be partnering with a lot of different departments, like different lines of business, the mortgage department, credit card department, things of that nature. And because you will be in this role, they will use you as a really great subject matter expert, right? So you will be also in charge of just being able to offer up ideas of how to better mitigate fraud and how to better mitigate identity theft. You'll be helping with trying to prevent fraud from happening instead of handling it on the back end. They also have here that you will also continue to develop your knowledge and your understanding of industry trends when it comes to identity theft and fraud. All right, so moving down to some of the requirements for this specific position, you do have to have that strong analytical research, problem solving, and investigative nature about you. You also have to be a critical thinker, be great with judgment and decision making when it comes to handling personal information and fraud. They also do have here is just being proactive and performing effective and accuracy when you're actually doing fraud investigations and qualifying people when you get a fraud alert, okay? Now, the educational requirement that they do have here is a high school diploma or equivalent work experience. A college degree is preferred, but it is not required, okay? You just need your high school diploma or equivalent work experience. They also do have here that you do have to have 2 to 3 years of banking experience. So this is going to be for my more seasoned banking people looking for a higher up role within maybe like investigative audits, quality assurance, those kind of things. And then they also have here that you will need to be able to communicate really well, written and verbally, and be personable because you will have to deal with customers and you will be dealing with different team members in different departments. So moving down to some of the preferred qualifications, if you do have knowledge of identity verification and red flags or fraud, that is a plus. If you do have experience in working in fraud, AML, detective systems, and some of those systems are Alloy and LexisNexis. And those systems really do dig into people's backgrounds. So if you do have experience in those, that is preferred, but it's not required. They will train you on how to look things up within those systems. If you do have awareness of industry standards regarding identity verification, that is great and a plus as well. They're also looking for someone that can work independently and on a team. And if you do have ACAMs and or CFE certifications, that's also a plus, but once again, it's not required. They do train you. They get you all of the certifications that you're in need of. Now, the pay for this position is anywhere between $22 and $26 per hour. Now, I always say if you are coming into a position with experience, definitely always negotiate your rate and negotiate your worth, okay? Because just because a lot of the job postings have a specific hourly rate on it does not mean that you cannot get more money, okay, based on your experience and or more benefits, okay? So it might be they might pay you $26, but you get more time off, right? Or you get more vacation time, or they contribute to your 401k higher than normally they would. You always want to negotiate yourself and your worth. Negotiate what you're coming in with. Be confident about it, okay? So once again, this is the Senior Specialist Identity Verification position with KeyBank. And here is the job ID. Now, I did want to just take a few minutes to go over the KeyBank benefit package. If you are a full-time employee, you will be eligible for all of these different benefits, which is medical and prescription drug plan, your dental, your vision, life insurance, critical illness insurance, leave of absence, fitness reimbursement, long-term disability, paid time off, adoption assistance, caregiver support. I mean, they have so many. Tuition reimbursement, career development, employee networking groups, match gifting programs, 401k. I mean, they have a slew of so many benefits. So that is another reason why I wanted to bring these jobs to you, because y'all know I love to bring jobs that are work from home jobs, but also you get really great benefits with them. And they're normally Fortune 500 companies. All right, so we're going to get into our next position, and that position is with a company called Cardinal Health. They are a healthcare product and service provider. And we're going to get into the role that I had with them, which is the customer care specialist remote role. This role will be responsible for answering inbound calls from customers who want to place orders or reorder medical supplies. So you also will be a liaison for problem solving when it comes to order issues, researching accounts, and providing resolutions within a high volume call center setting, but it is fully work from home. Now, the qualifications that they do have here is that you have a high school diploma, a GED, or equivalent work experience. Now, they also do have here that you do have to have 2 to 4 years of experience in a high volume call center. It's preferred. And they just have here that they're looking for when you were in a call center that you did have to use communication and active listening skills. Now, if you have not been in a call center, you still can apply. As you see, it just says it's preferred because they will train you. All right. Now, if you are completely entry level, I do have other positions, but I do want to make sure that you are a part of the family by subscribing to the channel, turning that bell notification on so you can be notified every single time I drop a video. I do drop weekly job videos, so I would hate for you to miss out on something that really aligns with you, your background, and where you want to go career-wise, just because you were not a part of the family and you didn't subscribe. So make sure you subscribe and you become a part of the tribe by clicking that subscribe button and turning that bell notification on and clicking all, so that soon as I drop these videos, you can go and apply for really dream roles that you're looking for. Now, getting more into the details of this specific role, they do have here that you do need previous experience or working remotely or working in a work from home setting. It is preferred, but it's not required, okay? They also do have here that working with Microsoft Office, so your Word, your Excel, your PowerPoint, that is a plus, but it's not required. It's preferred, but it's not required. If you do have prior experience with order placement and order placement systems and tools, that's a plus. It is not required though. If you have previous customer service experience, that's a plus. If you're really analytical, that's also a plus. If you're familiar with call center phone systems, that's a plus. Now, you do have to have excellent phone skills and being really personable on the phone. If you do have prior experience in call centers and actually adhering to their actual metrics, right? And the goals that they're trying to reach, like handle time, speed of answering the calls, things of that nature, that's also a plus, okay? But the main thing that they're looking for here in the real qualification is just that you have a high school diploma or a GED or equivalent work experience. So this job is completely entry level, all right? Now, moving down into some of the responsibilities of this actual role, you will be answering incoming calls for customers and caregivers and basically placing orders and reordering items that they've already ordered and need refilled. They do also have here that you do have to have the ability to handle high call volume. So you might get calls back to back. Think about that as well. You'll be processing orders for new and existing customers and collecting necessary information for insurance billing and collecting payments. You'll also be operating the company provided hardware and software and navigating through multiple different computer programs, okay? You'll also have to consult supervisors and team leads on complex and unusual situations and problems to bring resolution to them. So you will be escalating things to your higher ups as needed. They do also have here that you'll be navigating multiple systems at a time, and that you will also have to interpret the meaning of insurance terminology and different things like that. But you will have supervisors and team leads to ask questions to, and they will train you on these things. So I don't want you to get too overwhelmed with some of the job descriptions. Just know you will get properly trained. All right. Now, moving down to some more of the information that they have here for the requirements. They just also have here that you do need to be positive, empathetic, and have a professional attitude when you're dealing with customers and coworkers. Now, moving down to the shift, your new hire training will take place Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it is mandatory attendance is required for your new hire training. Once you have completed your new hire training, you will take part in shift bids to determine your schedule. So keep that in mind. You might have to be a little more flexible when it comes to being able to work different schedules initially starting off. So keep that in mind when applying for this job. If that would not work for you and you need strict schedules and set times, then definitely stay tuned. I have other roles that are entry level that may be a better fit. Now, it does just say here that this position is a full-time 40 hours per week. They also do have here that employees are required to have flexible work hours and shift times during normal business hours of 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday, and 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturdays. Now, if you do work a Saturday, you will get a shift differential rate of an additional $1. If you do work shifts that end at or after 8 p.m., you will receive an additional $2 shift differential rate. They also do have here that based on seasonal fluctuations in volume, you may be required to work overtime. So keep that in mind. This is really for someone who will be flexible with working and really is able to work different shifts. Like you can really maneuver around your work schedule, okay? Now, it does have here that this is a fully work from home position. And moving down, it just has some internet requirements that you do have to have the actual high-speed broadband internet hookup, and you can't have like a Wi-Fi box or hotspot or anything like that. It does have to come in at a high speed, and it does have to be the broadband internet connection. All right. Now, moving down, they do have some more information just about the speed of the internet here. And then we're going to get into the benefits that they have for this role and the actual salary range and hourly rate. So the benefits that they do offer is medical, dental, vision coverage starting day one, which is phenomenal. A lot of jobs do not start their benefits until your probationary period is up, which is normally maybe 30, 60, 90 days. Okay. So you will get covered with medical, dental, and vision coverage starting day one, which is phenomenal. They also offer a 401k matching program starting day one. So you don't have a waiting period to get enrolled into their retirement plan either. They also do have a really nice paid time off with offering you 23 days of paid time off after your 90-day probationary period. So you show up, you're dedicated for your first 90 days, you get the job done, and then you do have 29 days of paid time off within a calendar year. That is really good. A lot of places only give you maybe 2 weeks, which is 10 days, right? So you're getting more than a month of working days off after your 90-day probationary period. That is phenomenal, you guys. They also do offer a health savings account, flexible spending account, work-life resources, paid parental leave, and healthy lifestyle programs, probably like gym memberships and things like that. Now, the salary that they do have for this role is $16.75 per hour, all the way up to $21.84 per hour. Now, this role is not eligible for bonuses because you're not doing sales and things of that nature, but the hourly rate is really good, and you do have options to advance to that team lead, that supervisor role, and every year you do get your normal increases, right? So this is really great for entry level customer service. They don't require you to have a whole lot of background at all, just with that high school diploma and or a GED or equivalent experience, and you can get paid upwards of about $22 to be able to work remotely. All right. And I always say, as always, make sure you negotiate yourself. Okay. We don't play when it comes to the coins. Get those coins and negotiate yourself and negotiate that worth and that rate. All right. So moving down, here is where you would apply. And once again, this role is the customer care specialist remote role. And this is with Cardinal Health. All right. Now, moving over to my next position. This position is with Millennium Trust Company. They are a financial servicing company. They provide a slew of different financial products. Okay. And the role that I have with Millennium is the customer service representative, general considerational position. Okay, this is within their customer service position, and it is fully remote. Now, moving down, they do have some states that are specific that you do have to live in. So definitely look at that when thinking about this role. If you don't live in these specific states, definitely check out the previous roles. And I do have another role coming up that is not state specific. So definitely stay tuned. Now, moving down to some of the information regarding this specific role. So this role, you will be answering customer phone calls, and you will help them navigate with online tools, financial checking, and savings accounts. You'll also be looking at balances, looking at transactions, and submitting tickets on their behalf if something is not right with their account. You'll also be accountable for resolving issues when you get calls without a whole lot of management interventions. So basically being able to solution calls on the first time that a person comes in. You'll also be handling very sensitive member information and account information. So keep that in mind. And then moving down into some of the qualifications for this specific position, they do have here that you will need a high school diploma, a GED, or a college degree. And it does have here, if you do have some or all of the following, definitely apply. So if you have a GED, you're fine. If you have a high school diploma, you're fine. If you have a college degree, you're fine. Either one, you can still apply for the actual position. They do have experience-wise, you can have 0 to 2 years of experience in customer service. So you need absolutely no experience at all to be able to apply for this position. It is completely entry level as long as you do have a high school diploma, a GED, or some equivalent of a college degree. If you do have prior call center experience, it's a plus, but it is not required. All right. If you do know how to navigate and you have knowledge of regular computer skills and maneuvering between different softwares, that is also a plus. If you can learn and retain information really quickly, that's a plus as well. If you do have a basic knowledge of medical and reimbursement terminology, it is preferred. It's a plus, but it is not required. They will train you so you do know this information. If you can adapt to a fast-paced environment, that's also a plus. And they also do have here that you will need oral and written communication skills, okay? So once again, that role is with Millennium Trust Company, and it is the customer service representative role. And definitely, if you're in these states and this role interests you, get over and you would apply here, okay? All of these jobs will also be in the description for you to be able to come over to the careers website and apply. Now, getting into my next role, this role is with a credit union called Connexus. Now, moving right into the actual job that I had with Connexus, this job is the collections associate job. It is a full-time position, and here is the actual job ID. So moving down into some of the information about Connexus and this actual bank, they do have some information here about who they actually serve and that they do serve members in all 50 states. So this is a really big credit union, okay? And then some of the amazing benefits that they do offer is 20 days of paid time off and 7 holidays within a year. That's really good. They also offer 16 hours of paid vacation time, a 401k retirement with up to 6% employee match, which is phenomenal. A lot of jobs only offer like 2 to 3% match. So 6% is basically double that. You cannot get better than that. This is so good. They also offer excellent health, dental, vision insurance with multiple plan options. So that's really great as well. You can get a plan that really fits you and your family. All right. They also do have healthcare savings accounts with generous employer contributions. You won't be the only one also contributing to the healthcare savings accounts. They will as well, which is great. You don't really hear that at all anywhere. So that's really a great benefit as well. They also do have employer paid life insurance, short-term and long-term disability, tuition reimbursement anywhere from $4,000 up to $7,000 per calendar year. And they also do have a robust learning and development program to really be able to develop your skills within banking. Okay. So moving down to some of the responsibilities of this actual role, the gist of this role, you'll be monitoring and reviewing reports regarding delinquent accounts and trying to reach out to those people to make sure that we get those accounts brought back up to a positive. You'll be contacting delinquent members by telephone, mail, and electronic communications to determine the reasonings for them becoming delinquent and their account going into the negative, and or if they have not paid a loan, why they have not paid that loan. All right. And then trying to get them back on track to bring the accounts positive. You'll also be following up as well for payments that need to be made and making sure those payments are applied to their accounts. And you'll also be assisting members in fixing automatic payment issues and maintaining accurate and detailed written records of all communications that you do have with members, because these things might have to go into suits one day, lawsuits, or they might apply for bankruptcies. So the financial institutions definitely want to have a proper paper trail and documentations on any contacts that you make with the actual customers. So being able to keep really good records and being organized is going to definitely be something that you're going to need for this position. Now, it does have here that this position is fully remote. They are just looking that you do have a high school diploma or equivalent like a GED. That is required. 1 year of prior work experience in addressing difficult customer service situations and being able to resolve them is also required. So having that customer service background is needed, and being able to show that you solutioned those issues is needed. They also do have here that the ability to multitask, you will need that as well, and that you will also have to be a goal-oriented person. They do also have here that being proficient in computers is also needed. You will have to be able to navigate between different softwares and systems, and just having basic knowledge of how to use a computer is something that you're going to need. All right. So once again, this position is the collections associate's position, and this is a full-time remote position for anyone looking for something in banking that has a little bit of customer service experience. Now, if none of these roles align with you or your background, definitely hit me up in the comments and let me know what you're looking for. But also feel free to go back in my prior videos from this week and see if one of those roles better align with you, and make sure you become a part of the tribe by subscribing to the channel, clicking that bell to all, so that you can be notified every single time I drop a video. I do drop new roles weekly, and I would hate for you to miss out on something just because you were not a part of the tribe. So make sure that you do become a part of the family by subscribing to the channel and turning that bell notification on to all. As always, make sure you continue to reach your goals and continue to thrive. Love you guys, and I will see you in the next one. See you soon. Bye.